really the next couple days here are going to be scouting days. I'm going to be going back to my old, classic musky lakes, figuring out what's hot, what's not. I'm going to try to stay versatile, hit rocks, weeds, even look at a suspended bite if I need to. We got some pretty stable weather here the next couple of days. Looking out at the lake here, looks like we've got kind of a westerly wind, probably a west-southwest wind, which is just awesome. So I'm going to finish up breakfast here, get my rods rigged after breakfast here, and hit the road. We'll see what happens.
I absolutely love scouting days, and when I have a day off from guiding, my favorite thing to do is to plan an adventure film trip to test a variety of different lakes for a hot bite. Each season, certain lakes will turn on and others will turn off, and figuring out why and which ones to spend my time on is the most challenging part of the puzzle. Changes in biomass due to new management policies or angler harvest, as well as seasonal changes in weed growth and development, all play a role in how strong the bite will be on a given lake each year. So whether it's scouting new water or revisiting my classics, fishing them smart and hard is the only way to know for sure what a lake has in store for you.
Baby. Nice fish. See if I can keep her hooked. Oh no. Oh boy. Oh boy. Come on. Oh gosh. Well, this isn't a good location for that thing, is it? Come here. Touchdown. Touchdown. Oh! Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Well, I might have to find a new spot for this over the side camera here. That wasn't good. Well, that's an awesome fish, man. Wow. Just awesome. All right. You weren't going anywhere. You blasted that thing. Huh? You thought the old 500 was the real deal. Okay. Ooh, man, what a nice fish. Oh. Gorgeous muskie right there, guys. Wow. Beautiful midsummer fish. 500 series tinsel, booger tail, Christmas tree pattern. Just couldn't resist fishing a weed flat. Let's get her back. Wow. Gorgeous muskie. Man, was that awesome or what? I mean, I was only fishing about 20 minutes before that nice muskie just came up and absolutely hammered my 500 series tinsel booger tail here. This is their Christmas tree pattern, and a couple of things I want to talk about that I think led to success on this fish. One is identifying the fingers in these weed flats. Right now I'm just kind of running and gunning, classic midsummer pattern of mine, and I'm trying to locate a hot fish. We've got a major period coming up in about 3 hours, but before then, I'm going to try to run and gun and see if I can't either, one, catch a fish, or two, find one that I can go back on later. One of the things here that led to this muskie was really knowing my weed flat here intimately. And by that I mean that fish came on an inside turn. And what I'm getting at is you really need to be on the lookout for little fingers and extensions on a weed flat. You don't want to just run these extensions over as you're fishing. It's very easy to go down a shoreline. You see people do it all the time. They just cast, and they miss the intricacies of a weed flat. And this fish was very classic. It was on the inside turn of a finger that projected out. And when you hold your boat appropriately on a spot like that, and you're able to put the lure in the right spot, right on the inside turn, not missing it, you can really trigger and catch a lot of these muskies that might be overlooked by a lot of other anglers out there. Second thing I'll say on this, anytime you get a muskie boat side, you need to keep a tight line as much as possible. And on this fish, I engaged free spool quite a bit, which means, you know, when the fish is at boat side, a lot of times you'll hear this button get pushed, and that, you know, that means I'm using my thumb as my drag system. Now that doesn't, you know, mean you should let the muskie just swim away as you get your net ready. But what it means is that when she takes a big power run, you can adjust the power that you are putting on that fish, or adjust the tension in the line. And also, when I'm going to grab that, and you can see here on this fish, I'm messing with new camera angles, trying to get some cool shots. I got the landing net stuck in my camera. By having free spool engaged and having this button push with some, allowing my thumb to control the tension, if that muskie makes a big run as I'm trying to grab the net, you can allow quite a bit of forgiveness there, so that you're not sitting there, oh man, just sitting there with a tight line and a muskie thrash, and you can let her run a little bit while you get in preparation to land that fish. We're about 45 minutes away from our major period, so hopefully the action continues. We got some isolated thunderstorms in the area. So far things look good. I wish I could have gotten that second fish, but you can't catch all of them. But at least we're moving fish and we're catching them, we're hooking them, we're getting things going. So stay tuned here, let's rock. Hands backwards, time to get serious.
Anyone can go out and catch muskies when the fishing is hot. But when the fishing is tough and muskies are in a negative mood and not actively feeding, triggering strikes from these big predators can be almost impossible. To overcome these environmental blunders, I rely on the moon and its 4 daily movements: moon rise, moon set, moon overhead, and moon underfoot, because they often trigger small but intense feeding windows, and keying in on this pattern allows me to consistently catch muskies under challenging conditions. The spot I am fishing here has been a consistent producer for me all season long, so I decided to position my boat so that I'd be casting on the key piece of structure right on the major period.
Line figure 8, oh my gosh. I think she's hooked pretty well. Line figure 8. Come here. All right. Scored. Right on the major period. Right on the major period. All right. Holy cow, man, did she smash that thing right on the turn? I didn't see her coming at all. Did not see that fish coming. Oh my gosh, is that awesome or what? Whew. Oh man, that was cool. Boy, she pounded that thing, huh? Both side strikes. Both side strikes never get old. She's hooked pretty well too. Boy, gorgeous muskie, guys. Wow, blind figure 8 fish. Look at that. Beautiful fish. Gosh, it doesn't get old. Catch them at boat side. Make sure you figure 8 on every single cast, guys. Man, pretty fish. Let's get her back. All right. She riled up or what? There's gorgeous colors on this muskie. It's beautiful. Wow, what a strike that was, guys. Managed to get another one here in the figure 8, and it was one of these where it just goes to show you have to figure 8 on every single cast. So a couple things to go over here. Again, second muskie of the day here on my little 500 series Booker Tail tinsel. This is the Christmas tree pattern. Again, this is St. Croix's Legend Elite. This is their 9-foot medium heavy fast action. Love this rod for the figure eights. As you're going to see here on this fish, she popped it right on an outside turn, and I didn't see this fish coming, didn't see any indication of a follow. These are the kind of fish that you always figure eight for every single time, and you have to be ready for it. Love the 9-foot rod for nice, big, wide, sweeping turns. Allows me to set the hook and fight a fish like that at boat side very effectively, especially when I'm by myself here. I got to get that fish in the net pretty quickly. Especially, I got a heavy net here. The 9-foot rod allows me to fight that fish pretty well. Another thing here that's consistent with the first fish, that fish came again on an inside turn. Now that was right on the major period here. And this was interesting because there's two types of cover going on in this one. There were weeds, and then it transitioned out to a rock spine, and this fish was right on the corner of that spot. Definitely a lot of fish suspended out here. Marking a lot of baitfish up shallow. Neat thing is I can see the loons feeding on all this stuff that's real shallow.
With no significant muskie activity after the major period, I decided it was time to pick up shop and head back to the same spot where I'd caught my last muskie nearly 5 hours ago. When light begins to fade into darkness on a dead calm evening, you get that eerie sense that something big is about to happen. It doesn't matter how long it has been since your last catch, strike, or follow, because it is all on the line now. As the sun began to set, I had a feeling that with a little luck, I might be able to trigger one more muskie into hammering my top rigger.
Darn it. Another blind figure eight here. Oh my gosh, darn it.
The mosquitoes on a windless night in the North Country can be absolutely brutal, and they will bite straight through your pants and shirt in order to feed. I wear a special jacket soaked with a chemical that is designed to ward off these vicious insects. You can clearly hear a high-pitched buzz come over the entire lake as the mosquitoes come out, and many might ask, why would you ever stay out and keep fishing so late into the evening? Some anglers call it overkill or too much, but for me, it is my passion for the hunt that keeps me going. It's not all about the catching, but it's about being out in the wilderness and having the chance to live my dream. The season is short, and that very next cast could be my fish of a lifetime. Chaz Martin's Musky Mastery Outdoors is brought to you by Joe Bucher Outdoors, #1 in big game fish products, and by St. Croix Rods, best rods on earth. Fish more, worry less.